a lot of people don't know about in the military is how to manage their their TSP. You know, there's several different options you can choose from and enable, and people don't necessarily know how to diversify their investment. So, could you talk a little bit about some generic strategies on how you
Sure.
should look at that?
Sure. Yeah, generically. And so a quick disclaimer, this is not tailored advice, so you have to do your own due diligence for acting on what you hear today. So you have kind of the five big funds, the CSI, G, and F, right? And you were like, okay, maybe that went like sailing right by. But if you, here's all you need to know. As a person that's of the age of being in the military, you're again at that, kind of 18 to 45, 50-ish, most surveys in that more of the 18, 18s to 20s and 30s. You need to have almost half your exposure in the C fund, which again is the large cap US fund. So if you just do that, then you'll be fine. If you want to put 100% into that, then you just have to look away when there's bad news. So we just had COVID-19. So if you want to take all the risk, you're going to get rewarded for taking all the risks. If you go 100% into the C fund, then you just have to not freak out when the shooting starts, right? So, and nobody knows until they're there. But when the markets are crashing and you turn on CNBC and it's doom and gloom and everybody's freaking out, and of course you check your app 15 times a day, right? Because that's helpful. Not really, but you're watching the number get smaller, and you can get into a situation where your portfolio loses more money than your like annual salary, and that can happen very quickly. So you kind of really have to know your game plan. If you're going to take the risk, then you have to close your eyes. It's kind of like getting on a roller coaster. Get on the coaster. There's no real off ramps, right? So don't get on it if you're not going to take the full ride. If you don't like either of those options, you can pick. There's life cycle funds. I don't really like those, but they're certainly valid. Valid investment options where you pick. Okay, here's where I want to retire, and it's in 2050. So you pick the 2050 life cycle fund, and you're done. That's better. That's better than nothing. But that's a good place to start. There are many forums out there on Facebook. There's Military Fire, which is FIRE, Financial Independence Retire Early. But really, any of these forums you can get on and ask the question of like, hey, everybody, I hate this stuff. What should I do? And you'll get 50 answers, some good, some bad. Synthesize those a little bit and see what most people are saying. If you do that, then you're probably going to be in a good place. Or you can hire an advisor. Obviously, that costs money. So it's kind of like thinking of the personal training. Most people in the military are pretty built and into working out and know enough to be able to safely operate in the gym, so they can do it on their own. But if you want to get to like the next level, that's when you start looking at, okay, maybe self-education isn't exactly what I'm going to do. Maybe I need to hire a pro, put them on my side so I can get to that next level.